Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunatam Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Tuje Namaha. So today, maybe I'll speak a little less. It will be, I'll be following doctor's orders, the orders of our dear Vaishnava doctors, of which we had very capable and qualified doctors here with us in the devotee gathering in Jagannath Puri. And I am in Jagannath Puri, and it doesn't feel like the festival really stopped, because infinity minus infinity equals infinity. We had so many devotees go back to their homes, and go back to where they're going to, go onwards. And still we had so many devotees for Mangalati this morning. And then we had so many devotees go throughout the day, and still we've got so many devotees here. So actually, it's feeling like a continuous festival running here in Jagannath Puri at the moment. So what I think is good, so I do follow doctor's orders, is that I don't speak too much, right? But that we do give some opportunity for the devotees to share. And we've got Anutama Devidasi and Lilamrita Devidasi. They're in Vila Govinda. Okay. Very happy news. So you see, I'm a little out of touch with Vila Govinda. So happy news that you're both there and you're on the Zoom. And they've, well, Anutama Devidas has just been in the programs here. And Tapati, she's there in Germany. And you've had your representation with Anjali from Germany here too. And so we're very happy to have your representation and remembrance. And so we're also looking forward to being with the devotees in Germany later this year by Suresh Krishna Prabhu's good thoughts, good heart, and inspiration. So I think that we'll be, hopefully, by the Lord's grace, everything is by Jagannath's grace. We're in Puri, and everyone's always saying, if it's the Lord's wish, then it will be done. So we could start with Anutama Devidasi sharing a few words, having returned to Vila Govinda, another room, a room of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. Anutama Devidasi, and you can speak in whichever language you like, because we have simultaneous translation, and that is much appreciated indeed. Jai Gurudev.
Dandavad, dear Gurudev, and all the devotees. I would prefer to speak in English, and I will try to use simple words. One of like a funny observation that I understand that I like to wake up at 3 o'clock now, because of this like time gap, and I just can't sleep like. Very till 5 even or till 6. I wake up at 2 or 3, and it's actually good. I have so much time, and I have time to read my japa, to read Gayatri, to be like a very calm and everything. So really, even this result of parikrama, it gives us so much. Not to talk about like all the things we survived and we observe there. And also, it's very nice to come back here at home, also at Villa Govinda. And I talked to Krishna Kanta yesterday that really Villa Govinda, it's actually the best example how to add beauty to beauty. I mean, they really took this Navadvip mood and this pressure, yeah, of Guru Dev's mood and gave it like Italian style and, this Italian taste for everything. And it's such, I mean, it's really like progress. I mean, not to say that something is worse or something is bad. No, it's just like expansion of beauty all over the world, and I start to appreciate it even more than before. And actually, everything I even tell to my parents and my friends and husband in Ukraine that, oh, no, not to complain. Please, even you are living like in much more conditions now than some, Indian people. Of course, it's not like the same, but still, and the residents of Holy Dham in India, it's just they still have so much faith. So maybe the point is in this, not to complain about conditions you have now, but to think about the Lord actually, and you know. Well, for me, it's still a little bit difficult to share because I don't want to say like in very primitive words, and at the same time, I don't want to say something like very high, but that can be, not sincere. I mean, really, it was such a huge impression, and I'm very happy to come back and have, this a little bit quiet time to digest and to think and to reflect on many things in such a sweet association here in Villa Govinda, and it's just precious. And also, I thought that I mean, Gurudev presence here is also so obvious, and I thought that it's like his Navadvip is his big home. I mean, like very opulent and everything, and here in his Pushpa Samadhi, he's like without this cage, without, he's like really like at home. And this is so sweet. And like, it feels like if he here can be like more relaxed, and still with devotees and everything. So it's like my latest observation. And I'm very happy actually to meet Lilamrita. I didn't know her before, and we are now living sharing one room. And she also has such enthusiastic mood of devotion and very much wants to help with everything. And also Prapanam Nitai. Yeah, very, very happy couple of devotees. So nice. I mean, everything is harmonious and beautiful and charming. After this parikrama, I feel like, there is no like suffering anymore in my heart or in my mind. Really, like something changed. So thank you very much for this relief.
Hare Krishna. Well, that's very wonderful. I mean, very wonderful to hear those conceptions. It's like a new perspective. And you remind me a little bit, the very first time that I ever came back to the West, I came back to London from India way back when. And I remember it being quite a different perspective going back to England. Very different. One thing was I could understand what everybody was saying. And that time, there was not the metro, the underground from the Heathrow airport into the city center. And so came off the airplane and then took one of those famous London red buses. But I could hear the absolute nonsense and useless things that people are saying. Whereas in India, I didn't you don't understand. Well, before I can understand too much now, but we didn't understand what people were saying. So we always think that we are in the temple, we hear Hare Katha, and we think we're in India, everybody's speaking Hare Katha. Well, maybe or maybe not, but certainly they weren't on the red bus in London. And it was just like putting the perspective of how absolutely superficial is the world of material life without Krishna, without God at the center. It is absolutely superficial. And really talks and everything. It was a perspective change for me, in particular the very first time that I went back to the UK. Going to India was actually very natural. Coming back from India was unnatural. That was my experience. Solidly, I would have never thought that could have such a strong feeling as I did for several days. It took several days to get adjusted and see the Western world, as normal, which is unfortunate. Probably would be good if I never got adjusted, right? Anyway, dear ones, let us come to Suresh Krishna. We are in Latvia. And so, Suresh Krishna, please share with. Oh, first of all, I'd like to welcome Leela Amrita and Prabhupada because I saw your photos. I thought you're coming and you're visiting, attending a festival, and now I hear that you're staying there, and so you've been helping out Munindra Mohan Prabhu and Krishna Kanta during the time that we're all away. Then very valuable seva. And service, according to necessity, does have its value. So a big welcome, and I'm happy to hear that. Suresh Krishna, over to you and your team. Excuse me, and your team.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat all devotees. Yes, we are back in our places, like you said, in our houses, flats, but mostly places because we were in Jagannath Puri and we received there some nourishment, inspiration to continue our duty, like duty here, like preaching duty, preaching program, people reaching program. So, and festival was amazing, like a blink of an eye, like Goswami Maharaj is saying, like a blink of an eye. It was very fast. In the beginning, we thought it's okay, almost 3 weeks, we will be here. It's also a long time, but it was very fast. And we were trying to follow Guru Maharaj advices, what is our service there, to adjust our vision, adjust the proper angle of vision. And really, we felt like we are under the guidance, under the direction, under the mood, under the vibe, modern word Maharaj, under the vibe of Jagannath, of Lord Jagannath. And immediately when we came and we arrived to Mumbai, different mood, fully materialistic mood. Uh, People less was saying Hare Krishna, seeing us with the tilak, with the in our dresses, in our clothes. So, but some of them told us Jai Shri Ram, and as I understood, they are mostly worshiping to Shri Ram, not Hare Krishna. They like don't they know more about Shri Ram. But anyway, it was different mood. But we still, by the blessings of you, and we have Giriraj. We were under the guidance, under the protection of Giriraj, and we overcome all our obstacles what we faced there in Mumbai. So we get to the hotel happily, and then we next day we went back to Latvia. So happily, and now we are going from Riga. We see beautiful sun, which is sun is everywhere. The sun is the sun, like Krishna. Krishna is the Krishna. No matter where we are in under the Krishna, under the sun, and sun give us like inspiration. We understood. Yes, we are continue our festival. Festival not stopped. Festival is continue. So this was idea, and because we have minus 27 somewhere, minus 32 maybe in Daugavpils, minus 32 was. But it's amazing, beautiful nature, all white, like, and it remind me like Shweta Dvipa. I remember Srila Goswami Maharaj was saying something about Shweta Dvipa. Maharaj, maybe could you just uncover this idea about Shweta Dvipa, because I heard that Shweta Dvipa is in a spiritual world as well, like Goloka Vrindavana, but I really don't remember it, how it's correct to understand Shweta Dvipa, idea about Shweta Dvipa. And what I wanted to say more is that I start listening Srila Goswami Maharaj, because in Holy Dham, not was appropriate to listen Srila Goswami Maharaj lectures. And when I start today morning listening Srila Goswami Maharaj lecture, I feel different, like как восприятие было?
Не знаю, скажи feeling, like.
Different, not feeling, but different acceptation.
Acceptation, understanding.
Different like mood of acceptance of the lecture. Something was changed because of Holy Dham. The same topic, the same words, but inside understanding like more substantially, like yes, it is. Yes, it is. We must go deeper. And really, I pray, Maharaj, I don't want to lose this mood. I don't want to keep this mood. And maybe you can give us next question, how to keep this mood in our spiritual journey going forward, our practice. So this is the next question. And I also know that Udaram Prabhu has a question as well. So this is all from my side. Maybe Alina would like to add something and share something.
Well, she's been in separation while you've been away, so she can also have another perspective. The word perspective of
perspective, yes, perspective.
That's Priyananda helping us out. She helped us with that word in the chat box. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Alina.
Oh, actually, I don't have any comments today because I met Suresh and I'm inspired. And I'm still drinking this nectar of your being together. So I feel it. Thank you so much.
Well, that is a comment and we appreciate it.
This is the only comment I have today.
All right. Anyway, yes, and that's worthwhile nectar to drink because the association of devotees is very important. And everybody here, I'm sure, felt that we somehow had very special association at this time. And just now, now my tablet's gone to sleep. But you're asking, first is Suresh Krishna was asking me about Sveta Deep. So
yes.
It is good that you hear from Srila Goswami Maharaj about Sveta Deep, because his talks and his presentation of all the gradations and the names of the places, etc., is always spot on. He's he's brilliant. He's very knowledgeable, and when we hear these descriptions, it's a solid source to hear from. But I have here just to let you know how far away Shweta Deep is from, I was going to say me, but actually we can think from us all, except by the grace of Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, and the residents of that higher plane who know it. And the evidence, if you like, of what I'm mentioning is in that beautiful verse of Sri Brahma Samhita. Every verse is beautiful, but the concluding verse after all of the prayers of Chintamani Prakarasad Mashukalpa Vriksha, and then Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami, those verses that end in that way. Then verse 56 is the verse which is beginning Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpa Taravo. And you're familiar with that. I think mostly all of you here, I think that you're familiar with this verse. The translation given in in the Sri Brahma Samhita published from the mat is super beautiful. And well, it ends with that supreme transcendental abode of Svetadip do I adore. Practically no one in this world knows that place, except for only a few pure devotees, and they know it as Goloka. So, I mean, there's my answer. And when Shvetadip is that highest supreme abode of Goloka Vrindavan, then I keep that on my head and not in my head, because my head, you know that we're not really able to comprehend these places, but I'm going to give you a description of Shweta. And this is the translation of that verse 56. And then we can recite that Sanskrit, because it is good for us as far as possible to recite, especially the verses which are repeated often, which are quoted often. So first of all, so this is Brahma Samhita verse 56, and maybe you have this already for the translation handy, but otherwise I'll read it. I'll try to read it slowly, because I've been told that when we read something, we tend to read it faster than we speak something. So I've been alerted, not by Priyanana Devidasi, but by devotees who translate and say, try to read slowly so the translators can keep up. So the translation of that verse 56 is, that place where the divine goddesses of fortune are the beloved, and Krishna, the supreme male, is the only lover. All the trees are divine wish-fulfilling trees. The soil is made of transcendental gems, and the water is nectar, where every word is a song, every movement is dancing. The flute is the dearmost companion. This next part also, inconceivable. Sunlight and moonlight are divine ecstasy, and all that be is divine and enjoyable. Where a great ocean of milk eternally flows from the udders of billions of Surabhi cows, and the divine time is eternally present. Is eternally present, never suffering the estrangement of past and future for even a split second. That supreme transcendental abode of Shweta do I adore. Practically no one in this world knows that place, but for only a few pure devotees, and they know it as Goloka. And that, so who are they? We know that they are included, but in the recent generations, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. They know Goloka Vrindavan. They are that section of practically no one in this world knows that place, but for only a few pure devotees, and they know it as Goloka. So while we think about all of that and thank our lucky stars at the same time, I'll read the Sanskrit as best I can. Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpa Taravo Druma Bhumis Chintamani Ganamayi Toyam Amritam Kataganam Natyam Gamanam Api Vangsi Priyasaki Chiddananda Jyoti Param Apitad Ashvadyam Apicha Sa Jatra Kshirabhi Shravati Surabhi Vyascha Summahan Nimeshadakyo Vavrajati Nahi Yatrapi Sammayaha Bhaje Svetadipang Tammaham Iha Golokam Itiyam Vedantas Te Shantaha Kshiti Virala Charaha Kati Paye. And for Suresh Krishna and those who were on the pilgrimage this time, we did mention like a couple of days before the end. Actually, we had so many things lined up for our pilgrimage to go through, and one of them was the Brahma Samhita, because it's so joyful. Well, okay, joyful sounds mundane. It's so special. I'll just go for special. It's so special to recite Brahma Samhita, and especially when we're in a gathering of devotees who are somewhat familiar with the content. But the Brahma Samhita, Srila Gurudev describing Mahaprabhu discovering Brahma Samhita in South India. And then he describes that when Mahaprabhu came across this book, then, you know, Srila Gurudev's expression, he's very expressive. And he said, when Mahaprabhu got the book and saw this, he said, what's this? This is my conception. It's here. Brahma Samhita. Here is my conception already given. And so Gurudev thought that with this enthusiasm, Mahaprabhu brought this Brahma Samhita from South India all the way back to Puri Dham and gave to the devotees. 2 books, Brahma Samhita, and the second one is Krishna Karnamrita by Bilva Mangal Thakur. But the Krishna Karnamrita is essentially for the liberated souls. But we do have a touch of that book. Touch means we do have some understanding of that book from Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada in various places. But the Brahma Samhita is giving us the whole understanding of Mahaprabhu's conception from A to Z, or for the Americans, A to Z. But no Americans here, maybe? I do not know. Oh yes, Americans are here. Excuse me. So from A to Z, or translation to English, A to Z. So the Brahma Samhita, and Gurudev is saying also that only this 5th chapter is needed. And maybe the whole Brahma Samhita is there, and maybe it is still there in South India. But it was the 5th chapter. Mahaprabhu saw this 5th chapter, and he brought this to Jagannath Puri. But you see, this culmination, almost the very end, but not quite the end of that 5th chapter, is this verse. After explaining so many things about the creation, how it's working, the relativity of the creation, its creation, maintenance, dissolution, etc. And then coming to this verse, which is giving us the conclusion. So, you know, Suresh Krishnamurti, you're asking me to explain about Shvetadeep. Well, I put that in Lord Brahma's hands. You've got some description there. From those with their eyes wide open and understand clearly what is what. Yes, Prabhu.
Maharaj, it's perfect answer, because I need to find and save this verse because of some people sometimes asking me describe spiritual world. This is perfect description of spiritual world. Need to remember it. Yes.
Well, it is, but who is some person who is asking you? If they're suspicious, we don't.
For example, Igor in this in our meeting, in our retreat. Yes, yes. So, of course, not suspicious personality, but some who are interested. Yes, yes.
He is already introduced, but if he's already introduced, and you know, this way he understands this gradation, and you're giving him a description. But if we are trying to convince like a new person or something, this is the nature of the spiritual world, I don't know. You have to think it out, because it begins, you know, with the supreme male and one lover and many beloved. These are high topics. And of course, in this material world, as we are being repeatedly warned and pointed out by Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, by our masters, that we only can relate to mundane things, because this is our strong covering, conditioning, and identity of what we can relate to, things of this world. So poetry generally, rather than prose, but poetry generally tries to wake up a subtler experience. But the descriptions coming from the mouth of the masters, then they're giving us very high things, and we must be appropriately presenting the finest things in the right quarter. And if we don't know we're not the body, if we don't know that inside of us, there is an Atma and he's got these, such and such qualities, then to describe about, the intimate matters of the higher world is really a big jump. There are other verses in Chaitanya, in Brahma Samhita, which may be more suitable. And you can begin with Chintamani Prakarasatma Shukalpa Vriksha Lakshavriteshu Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tammaham Bhajami. And various verses which are not including the intimate aspect of that kind of intimate aspect of the Supreme Lord. And by the way, just to let you know that devotees are still here. We asked the devotees this morning when the dust settled, and then, okay, here we are. Who has got some hankering to go to any particular place that perhaps they didn't get to go to, etc., or that was very busy when we were there, because we also made places busy with 80 plus devotees chanting Hare Krishna. We also made some small places very busy. And so today we did go with a sweet group of devotees. All the devotees are sweet, but with a smaller group of devotees. We went to the Gambira, which was very, peaceful without us all chanting. But when we were there was another group chanting, very enthusiastically, very good kirtan, happy kirtan. And but it was a very lively day when we were there with all of our devotees. So we went back to the Gambira, and it was just wonderful to go again and just to appreciate that, like those very solid, thick walls, and how the old building, it's the same place. That is where Mahaprabhu lived. That was the place given to him. And so anyway, that's a sideline. We did go there. But what I was reminded of was when we came out from the Gambira, and then we're going to our next stop, which is Shweta Ganga, because again, devotees not all went inside, including myself. We went there just checking everything was okay. But outside, I went on this time. So we went there and were received very nicely and beautifully, by the way, by the devotees. And we saw how it's being maintained nicely and without making it all modern, high tech or something. They can just keeping it maintained, and we can very much remember the pastimes that took place there with the Lord. Well, anyway, we won't start revisiting these places, but Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's, pastimes with the Lord, the Lord's pastimes with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, right there. Can be very wonderful. But what I was going to say was, on the way from Gambira to Shweta Ganga, then we heard, and the first time I've noticed it during this visit to Puri, probably because wherever we've gone, we've been in Sankirtan, so we don't hear other people's sound. But this time we were not in Harinam Sankirtan, we were just gently walking. And the Vishnu Sahasranam was being played nicely over some loudspeakers, not blaring loud, not all distorted. and the Vishnu Sahasranam was being recited, and we were with Subhasini from South India living in Ireland. And Subhasini, she immediately was chanting along with the Vishnu Sahasranam. And she knows those 1,000 names of Vishnu. But it is to that meter, Chintamani Prakashasadmashu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshavriteshu Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tammaham Bhajami. This meter running all the way through. So, and there also, and then we went to the loudspeakers. I mean, they weren't blaring loud, but loud, nice. And then, with just after finish, and she said that actually, so this is the later part. She knew exactly where we were in the 1,000 names of Vishnu, like 921 or something like it. But Vishwanath Chakravarti, we also learned from Goswami Maharaj that Vishwanath Chakravarti, he showed how all those 1,000 names, which are known as the 1,000 names of Vishnu, they can all be applied to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in general in South India, because the South Indian mood of devotees is generally the awe and reverence mood, that the Lord, very reverential worship. This Vishnu, four-armed form Vishnu worship. But Vishwanath Chakravarti drawing out for each word that each of the names, they are names of Gauranga. And just as in the Maha Mantra, we've got three names, Hare, Krishna, and Rama. And in general, we can say in South India, but in general, the Hindu people and the devotees, they are thinking that Rama, those three names, is Ramachandra. But Guru Maharaj showing and expressing that Rama, that the Maha Mantra must be entirely dealing with the highest concept. It is the Maha Mantra. And there he's explained to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas that Rama, it is Radha Raman Rama. The Krishna who's giving pleasure to Radharani. And Hare is addressing Radharani, and Krishna, well, Krishna is Krishna, but Krishna is he who is all beautiful, charming, attractive. And so actually it is all Radha Krishna conscious. Krishna is the center of Radharani's heart. Radharani's name is there. And Rama, Krishna who gives pleasure to Radharani. It's all Radha Krishna conception. So as Guru Maharaj explained, according to our addressing, our conception, our giving honor, according to that, then Rama, yes, can be Ramachandra. But for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, this high conception. So similarly, the Vishnu Sahasranam, which is chanted very beautifully, was being chanted very beautiful. It was almost, I can say, like the standard issue recording that we hear all over South India. And it was like the standard issue recording of the 1,000 names of Vishnu. But from the Gaudiya Vaishnava point of view, it is Mahaprabhu. So when we know that, that also kind of just wakes up just a very happy background that, the Lord has thousands of names, well, there 1,000, thousands of names. And these may be applied to Rama, they may be applied to Vishnu, they may be applied to Krishna, but applied to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, those 1,000 names of Vishnu are all applicable to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when the Gaudiya Vaishnavas hear that, then also they are hearing Gauranga's names being chanted, which is very beautiful. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, and Udaran
So,
Prabhu has a question.
down Brasilia. And the other thing is I was going to say about Shvetadip, it means the white island. And opposite Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's home is Shveta Ganga, and known as the White Ganga. Now, I don't know the history behind that. I don't know how the name is there. We know that it is non-different from the Ganga, but how the Shveta comes in, I don't recall quite. Not sure I ever knew quite how that name came. But another thing came in my mind was if it is so cold in Latvia, you're also under snow, is it? When there's all snow and everything, that's also you've got Shveta Latvia. You've got all under snow, the white Latvia. So that's not really the philosophical answer you were wanting, but you've got some reminder. Whenever we see things, we want to try to link them to the upper world, as Vishwanath Chakravarti perfectly is doing. But we may see something like all white snow, and we may also be reminded of Shvetadip. Why not? Hare Krishna. Anyway, Shvetadip is far, far above. That's the main point. Brahma Sanghita, dear devotees, Brahma Sanghita is your friend. Udaran Prabhu, please excuse me.
Maybe so Dandavas Maharaj, Dandavas to everyone. Maybe I can share something like I don't know, small realizations about the parikram, but not because of the parikram, I think, but still we are like a feeling like we are right from another planet, where when we are going to India, especially on January, and going back, we are like completely like can't feel that we are going from another planet, and so at least in India there was plus 29, and now in Riga, not now, but in the morning, minus 23. So you can feel that it's something like a different completely, but not only because of this, of course, we can see that in India they are like all of them, they know Lord, they know God, at least for some point, and we can see how they wanted to go to Jagannath temple, especially in Puri. They are standing in a long line in a queue, and when line goes like a little bit further, they're so ecstatic. Oh, Jagannath, Jagannath! We cannot see it in Latvia, for example, but yes, when I came to airport, my parents were meeting me, and they started to ask some nonsense questions about sense pleasuring and etc. So you can feel like you're on a different planet. And for some reason, when I'm going to India, I don't feel it like it's so strongly. I'm feeling like I came to my home, and I don't feel this um, distance between one planet to another planet. But when I go back home, I started to feel like, oh, I'm not at home. And today I was reflecting on this, and I was remembering one a movie that was my favorite movie and is my favorite movie. I don't know, probably English speaking auditory don't know this movie, but Russian speaking they probably know. It's called Kinzadza, and this is my favorite movie because there was like two guys who suddenly went to another planet, and this planet was a complete desert with and the creatures, people who lived there, there was with so egoistic, so exploitive. They wanted to exploit everything, and whole movie was about how to get back home. And I didn't know why I really liked this movie, but when I came to Krishna consciousness, I really understood that this is why, really, because we are searching for our home, and this planet is not really our home, and we want something which is warm to our hearts. And I've got a question. Yes, so yesterday I also spoke with Suresh about this theme in the airport. We see that many people who come to Krishna consciousness, they maybe not really so interested in Krishna consciousness, rather than they interested about side effects, like the people who are there, the society, like to communicate with really good people and etc. And if we would not be a Krishna consciousness, for example, but I don't know, consciousness of rescue penguins, so they will stay still like with us. So, and I was thinking, like for those who not interested in Krishna consciousness itself, so will they benefit by Krishna consciousness still? Like, will they get the goal of Krishna consciousness or no? So this is my question.
So they are meeting up with the devotees, they're coming and joining in the programs, and they appreciate that they're good people, but not with the particular idea that, oh, they're good because they're trying to serve Krishna. Well, there's this agyata sukriti, this unknown benefit, and they may not really appreciate the proper qualities of the devotees. But some of the devotee qualities will rub off, especially if they engage in these 6 activities, which will increase our loving relationship with devotees. And Guru Maharaj says about that if we, this is from you, I think you all know, from Upadeshamritam, the 6 ways of increasing the loving propensity between the devotees. Then but Guru Maharaj said, if we do these 6 activities of giving gifts, accepting gifts, revealing our mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasadam, distributing prasadam, these 6 items, that if we do these things with materialistic people, we will get their qualities. Though the qualities of the materialist will come to us. So we should know what is association and who to associate with. But you see, if they're associating in general, doing something good, and if they are able to like participate not just as a member sitting in an audience, but then can be engaged in a little bit more in the process of doing something for the devotees, then they will get agyata sukriti. The goodness of the devotees, that kind of nature of the devotees will rub off onto them, will be transmitted. So if somebody is favorable, it is good to have, for them to have association with devotees. But if somebody is with devotees and suspicious and inimical or offensive, why they do this, why they do that, or this is not right, I don't think this is right, why they do that, may be harmful, not beneficial. But agyata sukriti, by mixing with and associating with the devotees, then it is beneficial. And we have an example, and this example some of you know, because it was very strong for me. There is a devotee, his name is Radha Raman Prabhu, and he was a school friend, not even a close school friend. He was in the same class or in a similar age at school with one of our devotees. And his name was Ramaratan Prabhu. And anyway, long story, it's a bit of a long story, but the point I'm making about the story is that they knew each other in school. And this devotee, the first devotee was not a devotee. He just was a general person. But he knew that this other devotee, who's been actually initiated a long time, Ram Ratan Prabhu, that they are chanting Hare Krishna, they're doing something over there, they have made an ashram. But he didn't participate, he had almost no interest like that. But his fate drew him to a bad position where he was put in jail and then sentenced to death because he got into bad association. young, in the army, going drinking, bad association. And, he did something wrong with others, maybe. That's an example of bad association, by the way. But then he's in jail. And while he's in jail, he remembers Ram Ratan Prabhu, the friend from school, or the not even friend, acquaintance from school. And then it came in his mind, he knows something, they know something. And then he was able to, quite mystically, but he was able to make his once every 2 months phone call from the jail. Those people who were in the death row there, they couldn't make one phone call a week. It was one phone call every 2 months. He used that one phone call to call Ram Ratan Prabhu. And from that, then he actually, obviously from that, the beginning of that, then he became a serious devotee in the jail. And any day, they are told only the day before that they're going to be hung tomorrow morning. They don't tell them 1 week before or anything. So you basically, today you can be told tomorrow is your day to die. And the devotees arranged for me to visit him. On his one visit, I think he was allowed one phone call per month, and one visit every 2 months. That was the situation. And that one visit in 2 months, they arranged with the family's full cooperation, because normally it would be a family visit that they'll see it. And I met him in the jail, and absolutely, just like the movies, where it says last visitation and heavy security, he's handcuffed to another policeman and is through bulletproof glass. It's really like in the movies, and you're speaking in the microphone. But he was so sincere, and it was one of the most precise, focused hearing and answering, questions and answers, interaction maybe I've ever had with, not with Guru Maharaj or Gurudev. Very focused from both of our sides, because we know we have this amount of time. We didn't ask, how are you? How are you? That was not our greeting. But all that came by his associate, some touch of being with the devotees, and not that he was wanting to be a devotee. He was wanting to be a naughty boy, and he was a naughty boy. But there you are, really an example. But that is some indication, very clear indication, that any touch with the devotees in a favorable way, that can come up in the future. And then, I remember those people, or they were chanting Hare Krishna. They said that this is the medicine for everything. It will wake us up. Whatever it is that may come to their remembrance, then that can be the very key to change, make a sudden change. So, Udan Prabhu, yes. And they're lucky that they came to the Save Krishna Consciousness movement instead of the Save the Penguins. Krishna sent them to you, not to the penguins. And we love penguins, of course. Everybody loves penguins. But we love Krishna, who made penguins. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Amazing story. Yes.
Okay, well, I've just got a warning on my data. I've got a fixed amount of data every day. It's going to run out very soon. Actually, I've got a fixed amount of data every afternoon. It's unlimited between midnight and midday, which I suppose they figured out that's not really when most people are using much. So anyway, if I get cut off, please know it's not me being rude as usual. It's me just being cut off. But maybe it's a little bit of a sign. Well, maybe it's a little bit of a sign. I'll hand you back to Suresh Krishnabhu. We've got lots of devotees here. I mean, really, we appreciate every one of you. And we had this personal opportunity to really appreciate every devotee in the pilgrimage, that, like you say, the physical pilgrimage, the pilgrimage in person here in Puri, because without any exception, everybody was like special, so well behaved. Everyone's come to try to do what we're meant to do, and it makes a wonderful environment. And really, it was one time we said it's like pressing a button on Zoom where everyone comes out of Zoom and we're all together and having a 10-day festival together. So it was very special. And you, each of you are very special here. And I'm seeing you. And really, I just hope to give encouragement to do the simple things, which mean the simple things means really straightforward things that Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Saraswati Thakur, Sriman Mahaprabhu expect of us. The simple things, to chant Hare Krishna, to follow humility, tolerance, humility, tolerance, give honor to others, not want honor for oneself, not to criticize anyone, and especially devotee, but not to criticize anyone. It's not our place to be criticizing. See the good, especially in the Vaishnavas, and to adjust to the environment. In other words, not to make any complaint. And Guru Maharaj says we have no right to complain against the environment. We have earned it. So whatever comes to us, it's our challenge to overcome it in the way they've given. And all of these, they're straightforward directions. They're not complicated things. And then to serve with the serving mood. And we will chant Hare Krishna, the Maha Mantra for this age. We will help others. Actually, I'd like to pass the microphone. I may get cut off, I don't know. But can we just hear a little from Braja Krishna Prabhu? He's in minus 32 degrees, did you say? My goodness.
У
Hare
нас немножко
Krishna.
теплее. Дандават всем преданным, Дандават Мадхусудан
Dandavat to all the
Махарадж.
devotees,
Я
Dandavat
очень
Madhusudan
счастлив
Maharaj.
видеть
It's actually a bit
вас в
warmer here.
здравии,
I'm very happy to see you
улыбающимся,
healthy,
сияющим. Я вижу, что
smiling,
вас очень
shining.
хорошо
I
повлияла эта
see that
поездка.
you're
Это
affected
видно
very
сразу.
nicely by this
Мы были здесь, в Латвии,
pilgrimage.
охраняли
It can
Латвию,
be seen at
чтобы
once.
сохранить ее для
We were
преданных,
here
когда
in
они вернутся.
Latvia,
Мы
protecting
ее
it for the
немножко
devotees
заморозили,
as
чтобы
they
она
come
не
back.
испортилась.
We froze it a
Сделали
bit so it
солнце,
didn't get
попросили
spoiled. We
Кришну,
turned
дал
on the
солнце.
sun, and Krishna
Я
gave us
хочу
some
сказать
sun.
одно, вот у меня
And I
сейчас на
want to
душе это.
say something that I have in my heart.
Вообще
So
была преданная, которая сначала
we had
сказала, что у
one
нее
devotee.
родственники на Украине.
First, she told us
Она им
that her
сказала, не нужно
relatives in the
жаловаться.
Ukraine, and she told
Я
them
думаю, нам
not
всем
to
не нужно
complain.
жаловаться,
And I think we
потому
all should
что
not
мы живем в
complain
прекрасном мире.
because we live in a
Этот мир
wonderful
дает нам
world,
возможность
and this
узнать о
world gives us
Кришне.
the opportunity to learn about
Этот мир нам
Krishna.
дает возможность
This world
увидеть
gives us
Кришну.
opportunity to see
Не
Krishna,
потому, что ты где-то далеко.
not just
Все зависит
because
только от
you are
нашего
some
зрения.
far away. It
Можно
all
всегда видеть
depends
Кришну рядом,
on
и
your
можно его
view,
никогда не
on
видеть.
your side. You can either always see Krishna or never.
Я счастлив, что я живу в
And
этом
I'm
мире.
happy that I'm
Я
living
очень
in this
благодарен
world. I'm
Кришне, что
very
Он послал
grateful
меня
to
в этот мир,
Krishna
что
that
Он
He
дал мне
sent me to
служение,
this world, that He
что
gave me
Он дал мне
service,
возможность
that
увидеть
He gave me the
вайшнавов,
opportunity to
преданных,
see the Vaishnavas, the
за то, что Он дал
devotees.
мне возможность увидеть святых
And I'm
людей
grateful that
во
He
многих
gave me
религиях,
opportunity to
во
see
многих
the
традициях.
saints in many traditions, in many
И когда я
religions.
вижу этот мир,
And when I see this
я
world,
хочу радоваться.
I want
И я учусь
to
радоваться этому
experience
миру.
joy, and I learn
Если не
to
уметь радоваться этому
feel
миру,
joy in
ты не
this world.
научишься радоваться
If you
нигде и
do
никогда.
not learn how to
Бог
feel
есть
joy
везде,
here,
и Он
you will
проявляется
not
каждую минуту.
be
Наша
able
проблема
to
увидеть
feel
Его
joy
и
anywhere.
найти общение с Ним.
The Lord is
И я
everywhere.
очень
He
счастлив,
is
что у меня такой
revealed
учитель.
every minute.
Харе Кришна.
And our task is to learn how to see Him. And I'm very happy that I have such a good teacher. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now we want to chant and dance down the street with mridanga and kartals. Beautiful. And by the way, you gave Priyananda Devidasi an opportunity to translate from Russian to English. Everyone's been speaking in English today, so Well done. All right. So, dear devotees, I'm still here. I haven't been cut off. So that's also a little miraculous. As you said, I had like 10 megabytes of data left, and we're using quite a lot of data here on the Zoom. So, Suresh Krishna, I'm going to hand the microphone to you. And super to have you all here. I know you all haven't had a chance to like speak or share something, but happily with you. And I'm running through all of your names right now and seeing some of your photos. And Subhadra Devidasi, she's here, I think, still. Maybe. Lots of movement of devotees. We'd love to hear from you all, but I'm going to have to go in a moment out of circumstance. So, Suresh Krishna Prabhu.
Jai Om Vishnupat Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupat Srila Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupat Srila AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gantaro Govinda Sundar Ji ki Jai. Giriraj Govardhan ki Jai. Baladeva Subhadra Jagannath ke Jiv ki Jai. Jai Shri Guru Parampara ki Jai. Guru Varga ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Thakur ki Jai. Ananta Kuch Vaishnava Vrind ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani ki Jai. Shimapur Tham ki Jai. Vrindavan Tham ki Jai. Puri Tham ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinde ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shri Patashaya Danji Maharaj ki Jai. Jai all assembled devotees ki Jai. Jai Retreat Puri Tham. No. Jai Pilgrim 2026 to 2056 ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Primanande Hari Hari Bol.
And all of you who have been participating in the pilgrimage in separation, I know. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj. I had that mystic opportunity on 10 megabytes to make all of this. So that, thank you, Krishna. Thank you, whoever. Yes, thank you, Krishna. Oh, Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath. Okay, got it.
Jai
I
Jai.
know. I've been told these things.
Srila
Hare
Bhakti
Krishna.
Ranjan Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai.
Govinda Govinda Asti.
Донат, донат. Донат, dear devotees, донат, дорогие преданные, Прианандиджи, спасибо за перевод. Увидимся на следующей неделе. See you next week, next Sunday. Please come and visit our program in next week. Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath. Dandavat.